Hey, this is Steve and Stevie. We're here with something a little different. We do a lot of dirt bike riding when we can, and this is Stevie's new to him YZ85. It's an '08, and we picked it up. It was pretty clean. What did it come with? It came with Dunlop tires and a Shorty FMF power core, grips, Vortec handlebars, and chain and sprockets. So what we've done is get rid of the Dunlops. They're fine, but we really like the Maxxis. We put a Maxxis ST MX on it, and we kept the Dunlop on the rear. There's a lot of life left in it, and we were going to go to Hatfield McCoy Trail System up in West Virginia, and we didn't want to eat a new tire up there in the rock. So this one's got about 85–90% tread, so we left it. There's a lot of talk about these bikes having no bottom end and a lot of hit. And it's kind of true. It fits his riding style. It fits his riding style pretty well. But we did do a few things to change it up. Did I jet it up one? Yeah. On the low speed? I'm not going to pretend to tell you I remember what the number was, but I did jet it up one size from stock. The main was perfect. We messed around with a needle and we ended up with fourth from the top, I believe. Fourth from the top, and I put a set of Boising power reeds in it. They're dual stage reeds. Those helped a lot. There's something you can do. You can change the slide and the needle to the KX85. We haven't done that.
It was one.
Okay, he says one from the top. So that helped a lot. It was pretty passive, but it did give it some bottom end pull. He's able to use it a lot. Did a little setting on the clickers. We haven't even set the sag on it yet. Oh yeah, we put a turbine core because we ride places where we gotta have a spark arrestor, so we put a FMF turbine core on it. So we started looking around. We thought, well, how can we get a little more bottom end out? Honestly, he's using what he's got very well, and it's not that bad with the changes we did. The Boising reeds made a lot of difference, but it's kind of passive. It smoothed out the hit a little bit, and it gave it a little bottom, but it was minor. So we did a lot of reading on pipes, and I'm a big fan of FMF and Pro Circuit. They're both American made, and we like them. However, I read nothing but bad about the FMF on these little YZ85s. And the European pipe manufacturers, Dorma, HGS, and DEP, and Scalvini is, I believe, a top-end pipe, but they say most of the European pipes are better suited for bottom and mid-range power because of the type of the riding they have over there. So we bit the bullet and bought a DEP. I read some of the HGSs were good, but they had some quality control problems, like bad welds, and you had to take it somewhere and have welds. We do our own welding, but I just decided to stay away from them. DEP and Buds. I guess Buds here in the U.S. imports them. We almost did that, but we found a good deal on this. We didn't know it was coming from the UK. We thought it was a U.S. importer that had it. So I had to wait a little longer for it to come from the UK, but we got it. The quality looks very good, but there were some fitment problems. I had to bang around on the Stinger a little bit. I had to twist the mount, which is not uncommon, but I had to move the head inlet pipe a little bit, you know, put a bar in it and do a little tweaking on it. It wasn't the end of the world, and any moron can do it unless your name's Jeremy. But you know, we got it on there and it fits good. It fit the silencer well, so we haven't ridden it. The stock pipe was okay, you know, but it did leave a little to be desired. You can see that when it's coming into the expansion chamber, it's much wider on the DEP than the OEM pipe, and the expansion chamber definitely has more volume, and of course the forcing cone tapers down a little more. So most of those, in my experience, you know, will tend to give more bottom end. So we'll see. We haven't ridden it yet. So we're just about to fire it up. You know, there's nothing exotic done on this bike, but it's pretty impressive. It's fast. We've got a KTM 105 and some other bikes, and my 300 is laid up, so I've been chasing around an old XR 200 that we've got, and we've just been having fun messing around on our little course that we have. So we're gonna let him fire this thing up and warm it up and get a feel for it. And of course, I'm gonna have to ride it to see for myself, but we're gonna try to give you a lowdown on this DEP pipe. and see if this helps, because there's not a lot of information on these little YZ85s out there. So we'll get back to you after we've done a little testing. Oh, first kick. Right on. Okay, I guess he's going right out the track. I thought fuel injection was the stuff. You haven't got into it yet, huh? Still warming up? Okay. Go over there and sit back. Oh, yeah? Well, good. Let's see what you got. Well, what do you think?
I think it added more bottom end.
Did it? Let me try it. I think it gave it, it definitely gave it some more bottom end, but it definitely gave it more everywhere. Of course, I'm probably not giving it a fair shake. I'm trying to hit a couple of turns. So tiny. I think it definitely gave it more bottom, but it also gave it more mid. You know, I mean, I haven't tried the over rev to see if it like really rings it out, but it definitely didn't seem short. It's at least the same on the top, but I think it's got maybe more mid, but it definitely gave it some more bottom end pull, but it's not like drastic. So don't think that it's going to be like a night and day, like on some cases, you know, like a KDX, you put a gnarly on and it really brings the bottom in on. It's not going to be like that on this little bike, so keep that in mind. The stock pipe's not that bad, but if you want more power, it does give a little more bottom end pull, but so did the Boise reeds, and we did not do the V-Force or the rad valve. We just did the power to the drop-in power reeds, the dual stage, and so it definitely seems to make more stink, and it does have more bottom end pull, but it's not drastic. So hope that helps, and you know, we'll see if Stevie likes it any better. So all right, good luck.
Alright, this is Stevie, and we're comparing the stock pipe to the DEP on this 08 YZ85. So the American pipes like more top end, and the European pipes are more bottom end, excuse me, bottom to mid range. And so we bought the DEP, and the DEP for European is the best low end we've read, and the Bills, which is American made, is the best for low end. We couldn't find Bills anywhere, so we went with the DEP. And with the stock pipe, it was not bad. If you clutched it out of some corners, you could get used to it, or I got used to it really easy. The bottom, it definitely, with DEP, it definitely comes on earlier, so you can get off. It pulls off the bottom easier, but it's not like super drastic. Like if you don't mind the pipe, I wouldn't like necessarily want to. I like the pipe, but if you were like not very worried about bottom end, you can't expect like a whole bunch of bottom end out of the DEP. So yeah.
We've read, we haven't tried it yet, and we probably will. That you can send the cylinder and the cylinder and the head off, and they machine, I think like 40 to 80 thousandths off the bottom of the cylinder, and then do the same off the head to keep the squish and the compression ratio the same. That changes the port timing enough so much that it creates a lot of more bottom end pull. And then if you want to go back, if your riding changes or your kid gets wanting more top end power, you just add another base gasket. So down the road, when we do a top end on this, we may send the cylinder out, and I've read that it's anywhere from like 50 to 80 bucks to have done. And I guess Eric Gore is the guy that does a lot of that. So that may be something we try, but this pipe definitely helped. But it seems like it's got more power everywhere with the DEP pipe. The Bills was supposed to be good, but we're not able to find a Bills anywhere. So the stock pipe did well. Don't let that down. If you can get used to that, ride it. You know, I don't have a problem buying this pipe, but it's not drastic. But between the Boise reeds and the dual stage reeds and this pipe, it definitely made a difference. So, you know, keep that in mind, and I hope this helps.